When should you quit your job, and when should you quit your job without a plan? This is an excellent question that I get asked all the time. So, quitting your job is a huge decision, and sometimes it's time to go. So, when to quit your job? Let's first look at that. It's time to quit your job when the company's morals don't line up with yours. It's time to quit your job when you're giving too much time to the company and neglecting your family. It's time to quit your job when your boss is unbearable. It's time to quit your job when you're demeaned every day or put down every day. There's no reason to put up with any of that. And you have skills and talent that can be used elsewhere. It doesn't matter what you do or where you work, you do have skills and talent that can be used somewhere else. There is no reason to be stuck in a job. Now, when do we quit a job without a plan? Well, the short answer is we don't. Because we always have a vague idea of what we're going to do. So, that's the short answer. The long answer goes back to what I just said a minute ago about when to quit a job. My best suggestion here, and this is the model I followed myself, that when it was time for me to quit a job, when I realized I needed to leave the company I was at, what I did was I really started ramping up my side hustle so that it could replace my income. I made sure that I had enough customers on a recurring revenue model to generate 20% more than what I was making. Why 20% more than what I was making? Because it's going to happen as soon as you hand in that resignation notice or walk out that door, you're going to lose a customer. You just will. I don't know why, but the math just works that way. So it's always good to have a little bit more than what you need. Now, I didn't need to replace my exact income. I needed to replace enough of it to cover my budget. So what I had done was I worked out exactly how much money I was spending a month to cover my living expenses. That was to pay for my home, pay my utilities, pay for food, take care of my family. Your family is extremely important and you need to take care of them. So once I figured out exactly what it cost me every month to live, without a super amount of extras, I was able to cut those out just so I knew the baseline of what I needed to replace as far as my income was concerned. Then I added an extra 20% to give myself a little bit of buffer space. Once I had my side hustle up to that amount of money, then I turned in my resignation notice. Honestly, it only took me a couple weeks to get my side hustle up and running to the level that I needed it to perform at. It's not that hard to do. When you have motivation and reason, it's time to pull the trigger. It is time to put the systems in place that you need to replace that. Now, you could really work towards building up that side hustle and sending out resumes. Now, getting a job can take time, and I understand that. Building your side hustle can usually be done pretty quickly, especially if you're passionate about it. So go ahead if it's time for you to quit. If your job doesn't line up with what you need anymore. If it's underpaying you, it's really time to walk. So figure out, is it time for you to quit? If you're watching this video, it probably is time for you to quit. It just is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. But figure out, okay, is it time for you to quit? Now work on ramping up your side hustle. Or even if you think the time to quit may be coming a little bit further down the road, build up that side hustle. Build up that side income. Once you get that side income up to par, up to what you need, you can turn in your resignation notice. That doesn't mean you have to stop looking for what some would call a real job. I don't work real jobs anymore. I work for myself. That is a real job, by the way. Don't let somebody tell you working for yourself is not a real job. So you can build up your side hustle, quit your job, and continue looking for another job if that's the path you want to take. Now, as you've heard me say before, having a job does not necessarily mean security. So just jumping from one job to another thinking that's the secure way to go, you're really lying to yourself and you're not admitting the truth that it's not as safe as it seems. So having a side hustle either way is a great idea, and I feel like everybody should have a side hustle. Plus, in other videos, I talk about the tax advantages of having a side hustle. So with a side hustle, you can make more money, you can give yourself more security, and you can save money on taxes. What's not to love about a side hustle? And when you really build up your side hustle, you can become your own boss and replace your job completely. Overall, you know it's probably time to quit. It's time for you to put the pieces in motion to make it happen. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts, and what's going on in your life, and whether or not it's time for you to quit. I know you can do this. I believe in you.